Hi, ladies. I hope you're having a great Friday. I wanted to come on here to talk about self image and self love. I attempted to watch this movie, which I'm not sure was nominated or even won an Oscar, called The Substance with Demi Moore. And it really triggered me a little bit. First of all, I attempted to watch, meaning I watched 20 minutes and then I had to really just fast forward basically to see what would happen. I understood what was going on in 20 minutes. It grossed me out in 20 minutes. And I started feeling really sick in my stomach and thinking, I cannot actually watch the whole, however many minutes this thing is. But I think it's almost 2 hours, if not more. I don't know. I was just like, wow, I cannot actually sit here through the whole movie. It definitely gave me stomach ache. But the messaging in it was really, really strong. Man, there's a lot to break down in that movie. We could really talk about so many aspects of it, like from a machismo society to a very superficial Hollywood that translates very much now in social media, or even how women look at themselves, which actually is why I wanted to do this video. Most of you know my story from listening to my podcast, but I had a really distorted relationship with my body, in the sense that I still have body dysmorphia. And although now I know how to handle it much more, sometimes it comes up deeply where, it kind of shifts me a little bit and I have to bring myself back to center. I have all the tools, the knowledge, and I've fostered so much self-love in comparison to what I had before, that I manage it so well. But I can imagine how young women or even older women that haven't actually had the time and the support to foster these tools find themselves feeling incredibly overwhelmed and actually feeling quite depressed, and possibly going for extreme solutions to feeling in a certain way. And in a way, this is what the movie is about. Demi Moore was a celebrity. She even won an Oscar in the movie, had a star on the Walk of Fame, and as a result, it looks like her life was all about that stardom and popularity and validation from the outside. But she was in her 50s now, working still in the same kind of fitness world where she had to show her body, which looked amazing, of course, but where people started looking at her, or the producers of the show, and thinking, it's time to let it go. She's too old. We need a new model. And you can see her life is actually quite lonely. She doesn't have a family. She doesn't have a loved one. She kind of tried to rekindle with her old flame from her childhood, but even that didn't go anywhere because, before maybe she didn't give it the time of day, but after she did this very extreme move to try and rejuvenate herself, she couldn't. I don't want to spoil it because I think you have to really watch it, maybe if you have a good stomach and don't eat before. But I'm just spoiling a little bit of it. But basically, she is so desperate to be validated from the outside, to be loved by others, because she has no self-love, and she sees herself as this aging, useless woman, that she took a substance which she actually doesn't know what it does. Okay, what this substance does from the beginning is not actually shared per se. The outcome, the solution is like very broadly, but she probably thought, I'll take this injection or whatever it is, and I will be younger. But what ends up happening is that the substance divides her into a younger version of herself that doesn't look anything like her. That the message from the beginning was, you are one, because they are the same person, but not really. And the truth is, yes, we have different parts of ourselves, right? So this younger version that comes out of her, like as a human form, lives the life that she wants to live. Instead, she's still in hiding, still living a life that she doesn't want to live, which is basically nobody knows who you are, nobody acknowledges you. And this younger version goes off and has all the fun and validation and celebrity stardom. And instead of actually being one, there is this hatred for each other. One looks at the older version, the younger version looks at the older version with, disgust, and the older version looks at the younger one with jealousy, envy, and both are basically separated from one another. And the truth is, as they separate from one another and try to hurt each other, they hurt themselves, because they are one. And this is a very nice message in a way. I mean, it was shared in a sci-fi horror thriller way, but the message is really, really incredible, because if you think about it, is we create separation from our inner self. And instead of creating beauty when we have union, we create separation, and that is just going to age us, ruin us, make us feel inadequate. And this is a very powerful thing that we have to pay attention to. So I wanted to share this just to urge you to really take the time to foster self-love and really learn what it's like to find yourself, not from validation of others, but rather loving yourself so much that you don't need validation from the outside, that you love who you are, that you love what you look like, no matter the age. And I'm not saying don't look after yourself aesthetically. Of course, you want to look after yourself aesthetically, like eat well, live well, like just sleep and take care of yourself. Don't just let go. Don't drink alcohol and have no sleep. Talking about no sleep last night. But just look after yourself. And as you do that, you're nurturing that part of you that really need to be looked after, and that needs a self-love, and you're going to give it to yourself instead of waiting for somebody from the outside to come in and make you feel like you're worthy, because nobody can. You can, but nobody else can do it for you. So I really wanted to share this. And if you watch the movie, please put comments in below and let me know what you think. But also, yeah, let me know how you cope with, self-esteem and self-love, and if there are any things that come up for you, and we can actually discuss. I think in the realm of hormones, as we get older, of course, things change in our body, and a lot of women struggle with that. And with that, I can definitely help with the hormonal blueprint solution, especially on my retreats. So if you guys want to check out what's going on in June and July, please do, because these experiences are the way that you're learning about your body throughout. I have a therapist coming that will talk about trauma, self-love, and really just fostering all these things, sessions with me to learn about physiology, nutrition, but also about self-love. I'm going to bring to the front my experience, because I think we learned so much from going through our own struggle and battles. And when it comes to self-love, I can definitely say that it clearly took me 40 years to get there. And I'm grateful, and I'm actually grateful even as sometimes I stumble, and it really humbles me to remember what I need to do so that I don't take anything for granted. So that's what I wanted to share, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.